Ama namin, pakinggan mo po ang pagtawag namin sa iyong banal na pangalan. Basbasan mo po ang aming pagtitipon at kami kaluguran mo sa araw na ito. Pagyamanin mo po, Panginoon, at maging nakaayon sa iyong kalooban ang aming pagkikita-kita mula sa simula hanggang katapusan. Masalamin nawa namin ang layunin mong dakila sa aming buhay at maisagawa namin ngayon ang aming mga gawain na may kabutihan at pag-ibig sa aming kapwa. Kami po'y naninikluhod sa iyong harapan na kami iyong patnubayan at iwaksi sa aming kaisipan ang anumang masasamang kaisip, inggit at pakikipag-alit sa aming mga kasama. Bigyan mo kami ng sapat na lakas at katalinuhan upang may bahagi naman namin ang aming makakaya sa aming mga kasama sa pagtitipon na ito. Ilagpo sa aming diwa at puso ang pagmamahal na hindi naghihintay ng anumang kapalit. Bagkus ay bukas palad na magkakaloob ng anumang tulong. Panalangin namin ang lahat ng ito. Amen.
UP-HSD Philosophy. The University of Perpetual Health, System Delta, believes and invokes divine guidance in the betterment of the quality of life through national development and transformation, which are predicated upon the quality of education of its people. Towards this end, the institution is committed to the ideals of teaching, community service, and research as it nurtures the value of helpers of God, with character building is nation building as its guiding principle.
UPHSD Vision. The University of Perpetual Help System Delta shall emerge as a premier university in the Philippines. It shall provide the venue for the pursuit of excellence in academics, technology, and research through local and international linkages. The university shall take the role of a catalyst for human development. It shall inculcate Christian values, Catholic and doctrine as a way of strengthening the moral fiber of the Filipino, a people who are helpers of God, proud of their race, and prepared for exemplary global participation in the sciences, arts, humanities, sports, and business. It foresees the Filipino people enjoying a quality of life in abundance, living in peace, and building a nation that the next generation will nourish, cherish, and value.
UPHSD Mission. The University of Perpetual Help System Delta is dedicated to the development of the Filipino as a leader. It aims to graduate dynamic students who are physically, intellectually, socially, and spiritually committed to the achievement of the highest quality of life. As a system of service in health and in education, it is dedicated to the formation of Christ centered, service oriented, and research driven individuals with great social concern and commitment to the delivery of quality education and health care. It shall produce perpetualites as helpers of God, a vital ingredient to nation building.
The University of Perpetual Health System Delta 8 core values: love of God, love of self, family, and neighbor, love of country, and good governance, academic and professional excellence, health and ecological consciousness, peace and global solidarity, Filipino Christian leadership, value of Catholic doctrines. UPHSD and the Perpetualite Institutional Loyalty Program.
UPHSD Quality Policy Statement. The University of Perpetual Help Molino is committed to become a high-performing school that meets relevant quality standards and customer requirements. It will continually strive to exceed stakeholders' expectations in knowledge program and services.
Okay, so again, good morning to our dear students. Now, for this morning session, we will review again the content of our subject, understanding the self through the syllabus that I have forwarded to you. That is included in the chat history of our meeting last time. Okay, so for those individuals who just came in to our classroom, so please review the content of our course syllabus that is posted in our chat history again in this Google or rather MS Teams meeting. Okay, so I'll just share with you the screen so you can see now. All right. So last meeting, we were able to introduce the course syllabus as well as the content of our subject. Okay. So as you can see right here, the understanding the self subject, no, and the lecture as well as the handouts are provided, no, earlier, and all of the lectures are pre-recorded so you can have no the lessons self-paced, no. Ibig sabihin nito, pwede kayong manood agad ng mga video recording natin so you can be aware, no, what will be the content of our subject matter. Okay, so from the beginning until the end of the lectures, no, lahat ng yun meron na tayong material. So all you need to do, no, is for you to review again, no, the content. And before we actually, no, have our preliminary examinations, we still have to review again the lectures. And if we have time, as I mentioned in the previous meeting, we will discuss some of the lectures, no, that will be covered in the preliminary period. Okay? Sige. So ito po yung ating pre-recorded lectures, no, para makita ulit ng ating mga estudyante, nakakarating lang. Sige, isend ko lang ulit sa ating chat. Ayan. So this is a Canva file, no? Yan, meron nung nag-heart react. Please ano tawag dito, acknowledge, no, yung ating material na sinend by putting a heart react doon sa ating na-send na material. Para makita ko kung nandirito ba kayo. Okay, very good. Sige. Pakisundan. So yun yung magiging material natin as I mentioned, no. At lahat ng mga recording makikita nyo na kagad diyan, no, para di na rin kayo mahirapan. Okay? Sige. So after introducing to you, no, the previous material that I have uploaded, ito naman yung core syllabus natin sa mga kararating lang po sa ating meeting. Wait lang. Ito. So ito po yung ating course syllabus. Ayan, in-upload na din po natin yung draft copy ng ating course syllabus dito sa ating chat meeting or sa chat history natin. All you need to do again is to read again the chat history para di po kayo mapag-iwanan kung hindi nyo po naabutan ito last meeting. So supposedly this period or for this morning, no, ang pag-uusapan po natin ay about the self from various perspectives, the philosophical perspectives, no. Kung kakayanin pa, we will jump to sociological perspective and the anthropological perspective. But for the philosophical perspective, we have various philosophers, no. In your history of taking a lot of subjects related to philosophy, psychology, no? We will be mentioning some philosophers which are likely introduced to you way back in senior high school or even in high school. Okay, so these philosophers are somewhat the foundation or the foundation of the beliefs or as well as the theoretical principles that we are acknowledging and that are guiding us, no, to know more about oneself, no, especially those Greek philosophers. Okay, for a while. Okay. So these are the philosophers na magbibigay sa atin ng insights about the, you know, understanding oneself. Okay? So we have Socrates, Plato, Saint Augustine, René Descartes, John Locke, Hume, Kant, Freud, Ryle Churchland, Merleau-Ponty. Okay? Ang sasagutin nila is yung question na who am I? Okay? So these philosophers or the lessons coming from these philosophers will make us understand how we can know more about oneself. Okay? So I wish that our dear students, no, will be participative whenever I ask questions later part. Okay? So yun yung role po ninyo bilang mga you know, participants ng ating learning session this morning. Okay? So if hindi pa po kayo nakakakain, so please find some time para po kayo ay makapag you know, makapag-breakfast o kaya makakain habang po kayo ay nakikinig. Okay? And kapag ka tinawag po ang inyong mga pangalan o kaya naman tinawag po kayo to participate, I hope na ready rin po kayo no to answer even using our chat box no to respond with the questions. Okay? So please thumbs up kung nakuha po na kailangan mag-participate kapag tayo po ay may lecture. Okay, maraming salamat po sa pag-respond. Okay, so yun yung pag-uusapan natin this morning, the philosophical perspective. Okay, so dahil dyan, hanapin natin yung material natin. Okay. Ito, sige. So sabi dito, click or to scan. Okay. So ang module natin ngayon ay philosophical perspective. Lang in-explore ko lang kung paano siya i-full screen. Okay, sige. So ito yung module natin about the philosophical perspective. Here are the learning outcomes. Nakikita po ba? Paki-thumbs up nga po kung nakikita. Learning outcomes. Yan, very good. So nakikinig yung ating mga students. The learning outcomes for this lecture is to discuss different representations and conceptualization of the self from various disciplines or perspectives. We compare and contrast how the self has been represented across different disciplines, perspectives, different influences, factors, forces that shape the self, and of course, demonstrate critical and reflective thought in analyzing the development of oneself and identity by developing a theory of the self. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed by the terminologies of these learning outcomes. No, ang gusto lang sabihin nitong learning outcomes na ito is for you to explore, no, different you know, opinions of these experts. These are the philosophers, no, when it comes to identifying, no, or knowing oneself. Yun lang yung gusto nilang sabihin dito. Pag sinabi nating theory or developing a theory about oneself, it is identifying the different factors that likely contribute the development of oneself. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed by that. Okay, so now let's have a scenario. Okay, so scenario is who are you? Okay, you are hanging out with a friend He tells you that he needs to meet with his classmates to catch up on a group project. And you join your friend in his meet up with his classmates. So everyone waits for your friend to introduce you to the group, but he forgets to do so. And after a few minutes, your friend excuses himself and goes to the comfort room. Finally, one of your friend's classmates addresses you and says, "We're sorry, but we didn't catch your name. Who are you?" And you awkwardly say your name. Okay. So in this particular context or in this particular text, no, tinatanong, sino ka ba? Mm. 'Di ba, mas madalas na ang ginagawa natin kapagka tinatanong tayo kung sino tayo is for you to say your name, of course, no? That is the label that we have to identify one's self, okay? So, ibig sabihin nito, kahit saan tayo magpunta, kapagka nasa interview, for example, or job interview, no, tell me something about yourself, okay? So, it is a somewhat rhetorical question that the interviewer or someone that is, asking you, sino ka, hindi siya hindi siya limited to the question, ano ang pangalan mo? Tama ba? No? So, ang tinatanong dito, kilala mo ba yung sarili mo? What are your strengths and weaknesses? 'Di ba? Yun yung madalas na tinatanong sa job interview. Kilala mo ba yung sarili mo when it comes to the existing, uh, you know, strengths and weaknesses that you have? Ano yung mga skills, abilities na meron ka? What are the things that likely motivate you? Bakit nandoon ka sa senaryo na yon? Bakit kasama mo yung friend mo na yon when in fact wala kang kakilala halos doon sa circle of friends niya, 'di ba? So iiwan ko sa inyo yung tanong na yan and later part, no, we will try to explore further. Sino ba talaga tayo? So usually in such situation, you will say your name when asked, who are you? Your name is a label that identifies you and sets you apart from everyone else. So which is why, kahit na halos magkamukha kayo ng identical twin mo, o kaya naman you are being associated with your friends, no? Ikaw pa rin yon. Pangalan mo pa rin yon. Yun yung naghihiwalay daw sa'yo sa mga kaibigan mo, 'di ba? Kaya nga minsan unique yung pangalan natin. Ibig sabihin naiiba, no? Yung pangalan natin. O pansinin ninyo yung mga pangalan ninyo, 'di ba? Minsan hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, tatlo ang pangalan. O taas ng kamay ang merong tatlong pangalan dito. Sige nga. Hindi lang isa, no? Yung first name nila, hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, bagkus tatlo pa minsan, no? So these are the things, no, that will likely label us. Sino ba talaga tayo? Yet, you know that that the question, who are you, does not get answered simply by labeling assigned to you by your birth, no? Ibig sabihin yung pangalan mo, hindi lang limitado doon. You are more than just your given name. Okay? So ito yung activity daw natin. Form groups of 5 or individually answer the following questions and share your answers with your group mates. Okay? So daanan lang natin to. Listen to what others say about themselves to better reflect on who you are. Okay? How do you define the self? Sige. So using our chat box, please answer the question. How do you define self? Pangalawang question natin, how do you define yourself? Okay, magkaiba yun na self and yourself. Third question, what characteristics make you unique? Ano yung mga bagay na kakaiba sa'yo, no? Pagka kinumpara ka halimbawa sa mga kapatid mo, ano yung mga characteristics na yan? Next, how has yourself transformed through the years? Mula nung pagkabata ka, nag-evolve. no? Nagbago? Ano yung mga pagbabagong napansin mo? And lastly, what do you think will happen to yourself when you pass away? Sige nga, sagutin ninyo kahit isa lang dyan para makita ko na kayo ay nagpa-participate. Kahit isa lang, and then send your answers through our chat box. Maliwanag ba ang instruction kahit isa lang? Sagutin ninyo. So I will give you 15 seconds, no, to answer any of the question. So choose only one and then send your answer through our chat box. Sige, 15 seconds starts now. Okay. Sige. So habang hinihintay natin yung responses ng ating mga participants, no, type niyo lang yung mga answer ninyo dyan. That will be counted as your participation and attendance for today's meeting. Okay? So those are the questions that will likely reflect, no, on knowing oneself. Okay? Ano ba yung pagkakaalam natin sa sarili natin? Ano ba yung strength and weaknesses natin? Kapag ka namatay ba tayo or nawala tayo sa mundong to, anong mangyayari? Okay? So that will give you some insights or awareness that there are things that may likely be, hindi pang forever. Okay? So yun yung pag-uusapan natin mamaya. So ito yung mga guide questions natin, later part for you. Which questions are the most remarkable to answer and why? Okay, so kung ako yung tatanungin, yung last question is yung remarkable. So what do you think will happen to yourself when you pass away? Okay, so nagro-root yun, no? Kapag tayo ay, we are defining kapag tayo ay namatay, halimbawa. Kapag ka sabi nga naman ni John, no? When I pass away, I think I'm dead. Oh, you are dead, no? Physically. But the question here is physically, pero meron pa tayong ibang tinatawag na self, no? Mamaya pag-uusapan natin 'yun. Kasi 'pag nawala ba tayo, talagang totally wala na talaga yung esensya natin, no? Or meron pa ring somewhat magpapaalala sa ibang tao that we existed. Ay, mga gano'ng klaseng question. Oo. So, sir, yung sa how do you define the self po is kung paano po ako naiiba sa ibang tao. Sige, tingnan natin mamaya. Ano, 4 lang ba yung sasagot dito? Ito lang ba yung merong attendance? So, sumagot kayo lahat para meron kayong attendance, ha? So, what have you discovered about the concept of self through this activity? And what have you discovered about yourself through the activity? So, ito, again, no, yung mga philosophers natin, pag-uusapan natin yan. Sila Socrates, Plato, St. Augustine, Descartes, John Locke, David Hume, Kant, Sigmund Freud, Ryle Churchland, and Merleau-Ponty. Simula muna tayo kay Socrates. So, every man is dualistic with body and soul. Dual. Sabihin, dalawang tao lang to. Dalawang karakteristik ang meron tayo. Bakit? No? Yun yung tanong natin. Bakit dual according to Socrates? So Socrates believed that every man is dualistic, composed of body and soul. Okay? So tayo daw bilang tao, meron tayong physical na katawan. Ito yung body na meron tayo. Ano pa yung isa? So meron tayong tinatawag na kaluluwa o soul. Ito yung mga paniniwala, no? Ito yung mga sinasabi na kahit na ikaw ay namatay, no? Nawala yung physical body mo, nabulok, no? Tinapon, nilibing. Meron pa rin tayong tinatawag na kaluluwa. Oh. Lahat, no, siguro syempre dito ay well-oriented sa kaluluwa, no? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng kaluluwa, everyone? Yan, sagutin nyo nga. Ano ang kaluluwa para sa inyo? Namamatay ba ang kaluluwa? Nakakita na ba kayo ng kaluluwa? Okay? So, yun yung sinasabi ni Socrates. Anong pagkakaiba ng dalawang ito? So, all individuals have imperfect and impermanent aspect, which is the body. No? Yung katawan natin, anong nangyayari? Nagkakasakit, no? Namamatay. O, maski nga yung different parts of our body kapag tinamaan ng sakit, di ba? Namamatay o kaya nasisira. Halimbawa, ang ngipin. Kapag nasira ang ngipin, anong ginagawa? Tatanggalin, itatapon. Okay? O kaya naman sabihin natin yung na aksidente, halimbawa amputated, halimbawa siya, natanggal yung braso, natanggal yung legs. Yun. Hindi kasi perpekto yung katawan natin. Yun yung sinasabi dito na ang katawan ng tao ay nasisira, no? So yun yung sinasabi natin dito ni Socrates na ang katawan daw ay imperfect at hindi permanente. On the other hand, there is a perfect and permanent aspect. Yun daw yung kaluluwa. Okay? Meron palang perpekto sa aspeto natin bilang tao. Yun daw yung kaluluwa natin. Oo. So Socrates, who is the first philosopher who engaged in questioning concept of self, so he introduced the idea of the holistic self. So the world is composed of the physical and mental things. So yung katawan natin, andirito sa physical na mundo. So this is basis the concept of duality of the self. So the body is a physical thing which is imperfect and impermanent. It may be physically present today but changes through the years, 'di ba? Nung dati napakaliit lang ninyo, napakabata pa ninyo, 'di ba? Naglalaro pa kayo noon sa kalsada, pero ngayon nag-online class na kayo. Yung mga ganong klaseng mga characteristics ninyo ay yung mga changes o mga pagbabago na mapapansin ninyo sa sarili ninyo. Kapag ang isang tao ay tumungtong ng 30s, gaya ko halimbawa, meron na akong mga nararamdaman na mga sakit, no? Kapag tumanda pa ako halimbawa, ang katawan ko pupuwedeng magkasakit, no? Pupuwedeng mamatay, no? Kasi ang katawan ni Sir Donis ay hindi perpekto. Gaya ninyo, ang katawan ninyo ay hindi rin perpekto. No? Taas ng kamay ng perpekto dito, meron ba? Wala. O meron magtataas. Pero ang katawan natin ay hindi perpekto kasi the body is a physical thing. This is imperfect and this is impermanent, no? Pero somewhat, no, yung ibang tao or with the cutting edge technology that we have, the life of a person may be prolonged, no? Ibig sabihin napapahaba pa yung buhay ng tao depende sa diet, no? Depende sa kanyang access, no, sa mga resources, no? O, halimbawa, 'di ba, meron tayong mga artista, meron tayong mga politiko, o meron tayong mga lolo o lola na talagang tumatanda, no? Dun sa when we are comparing them, no, sa average age ng katandaan, sila talagang tumatanda, umaabot ng 100 years old, 'di ba? That is because, no, depende again, no, sa resources na meron sila to take care of the body. Kaya kayo, kahit na bata pa kayo, no, alagaan pa rin ninyo yung sarili ninyo. Oo. Ngayon malakas pa tayo, o nakakaramdam pa tayo ng lakas, no? Pero pagka tumungtong na kayo ng 30s, yan, nararamdaman nyo na yung mga sakit-sakit, halimbawa, no? That is because of the diet that we have, okay? So the body is the physical thing, so it will be gone from the face of the earth forever. Oo. Yung iba nung ginagawa kapag ka namatay, 'di ba? Sinusunog. Nung ginagawa, cremate. Yung iba nilalagay sa coffin tapos inililibing. O yung iba ano pang ginagawa sa kanila? Tinatapon sa ilog, no? Halimbawa yung namatay na alaga, no? Goldfish. Anong ginagawa sa namatay na goldfish? no? Pinaplush siya sa inodoro. That is because yun yung katotohanan sa buhay ng isang animal, no? That is goldfish, for example, no? Pinaplush siya sa inodoro, no? That is the fragile thing about us. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and notice the wrinkles starting to form on your forehead, that is your body manifesting its impermanence, di ba? Dati ang perfect ng yung goldfish daw niya pinakain niya sa pusa niya. Okay. So at least may benefit, no? Nourishment din yan. Sayang naman. So, yun yung manifestation daw na tayo ay tumatanda. Nagkakaroon tayo ng wrinkles sa muka, no? Takot na takot tumanda, no? Natatakot na baka hindi na siya maganda, baka hindi na siya pogi, hindi na siya gwapo. That is because of the, impermanence of our body. Yan. So the soul is a mental thing and it is permanent. Yun yung kabaligtaran naman ng katawan natin. Yun yung soul na tinatawag. So it exists and manifests in the body today, but separates when the body leaves the face of the earth. Kapag ka namatay daw tayo, ang kaluluwa natin ay humihiwalay sa katawan. Anong ginagawa ng kaluluwa? O edi maglakad-lakad siya diyan, no? Mamasyal siya diyan, no? At minsan bibisitahin kayo kapag 3 o'clock ng umaga. So yun yung tinatawag natin na soul. So this one reason why there is a belief that one continues to be present even after death, kahit namatay na, no? Buhay na buhay pa rin sa pamamagitan ng kaluluwa o yung minsan ay nagpaparamdam, no? So since the soul is mental, it can exist even without the physical body. Totoo ba to? No? Kahit wala yung physical na katawan, meron pa rin kaluluwa na mag-exist kasi nga daw, sabi ni Socrates, pang forever ito, no? So that the soul is mental thing and it is permanent. Yan. Pupunta naman tayo kay Plato. So Plato introduced the 3 concepts of the soul. Yung kaluluwa, 'di ba? Meron tayong sinasabi na pang forever na characteristic natin yung kaluluwa natin. At meron daw itong 3 na konsepto: rational, spirited, and appetitive. Ano ang pagkakaiba ng 3 ito? Yung rational soul, it governs the reason and intellect. Yung talino na tinataglay ninyo, yung talino na meron kayo, no? Yun yung tinatawag natin na rational soul. Yung spirited soul, it takes charge of your emotion. Kapag kayo ay nalulungkot, kapag kayo ay natutuwa, kapag kayo ay overwhelmed ng inyong mga emotion, yan yung tinatawag natin na spirited soul. At yung last one, ito yung appetitive soul. Diba? Tayo ay nagugutom. Anong gagawin natin kapag tayo ay nagugutom? Tayo ay kakain, diba? Kapag meron tayong gusto, no, na kunin, yan, appetitive soul yun. O, paliwanag pa natin lalo yan. So when you are able to justify why you need continue in pursuing college degree to your parents, that is your rational soul. Gusto ninyong mag-aral, no? Walang pasok. Naku sir, walang pasok sa understanding the self. Gusto ko pa naman pong mag-aral, no? Rational soul yang nagtutulak sa'yo. Gusto ko pong malaman bakit po ganito ako. Rational soul yon. Gusto kong matuklasan, no, yung mga bagay na gusto kong explore sa field of expertise ko. Rational soul yon. Kasi tayo, bilang tao, no, ay meron tayong kakayanan na mag-isip, no? Kaya nga tinatawag tayo na rational being. Unlike other animals, no, they act, no, based on their instincts, okay? Or sometimes, no, there are animals that are intelligent, but of course, no, we as human beings, yun yung unique characteristic natin, no? Ginagamit natin yung utak natin to solve various problems, to think critically, okay? So next, punta naman tayo sa spirited soul. When you are able to contain your feelings and argue on the topic with a logical perspective, that is your spirited soul, no? Taking charge of your emotions, no? So kahit na tayo ay emotional beings, no? Tayo ay nakakaramdam ng lungkot, tayo ay nakakaramdam ng saya, no? Tayo ay meron pa ring ganitong klase ng um, acknowledgement sa sarili natin that we can manage still, no, our thinking or the way we act. Hindi tayo nagpapadala, no, sa ating mga emosyon. Okay? Next is yung appetitive. When you feel unsupported in your desire to pursue higher education, it is your appetitive. Ikaw ay gutom, no, sa knowledge na gusto mong matutunan ang mga bagay na ito, gusto mong maka-achieve, no, para sa sarili mo, gusto mong magkaroon ka ng trabaho, gusto mong mabigyan ng magandang kinabukasan yung iyong pamilya, no? So yun yung appetitive soul. Okay? When you feel unsupported, for example, daw in your desire to pursue higher education, yan, meron kang gustong ma-achieve, no, based sa needs na meron tayo. Okay? Yan. So, na-introduce na natin yung body and soul based on Socrates and Plato. And now, we will proceed to Saint Augustine. So, dahil nga siya ay Saint Augustine, no? Siya ay inclined towards Catholic doctrine. So, the soul can be immortal according through him. Pero, merong kondisyon. Okay, so sa kanya, okay, totoo naman na merong kaluluwa. Pero bago ka maging immortal o bago maging immortal ang isang kaluluwa, importante that we have this condition. Ano daw yun? So ang kondisyon is through the communion with the divine. So Augustine viewed the dual nature of the self in the context where one is imperfect and immortal. So the soul is capable of immortality through the communion with the Christian God. Sir, paano naman ako? Hindi naman ako Christian. O sir, paano naman ako? Hindi naman ako Katoliko. Ano naman niya to, no? Theory naman niya ito, no? So the body while on earth will live in virtue, yearning to be with the divine, and the soul will commune with the divine in the eternal and perfect afterlife. Kaya nga, 'di ba? Ang mga belief, no, sa Christianity o kaya naman sa Katoliko halimbawa, importante na meron kang relationship, no, with the God o yung Panginoon o yung Diyos kasi yun yung magliligtas daw sa kaluluwa ng tao, no? Well, again, that is a perspective, no, coming from these philosophers, no? So it is still up to us, no, how we define our self, how we define the soul or the existence of the soul, and this will likely give, no, meaning and make sense kung saan ba tayo naniniwala. Kasi tayo bilang mga tao, hindi tayo minsan magkasundo-sundo kung ilan ba ang Diyos, no? Saan ba nanggaling yung kaluluwa, saan ba nanggaling yung tao, no? Because of various um, theories that we have. Kaya nga 'di ba sa first part natin, tinatanong sa inyo, no? Paano ba na-develop yung self? Paano ba na-develop yung paano mo ba na-define yung sarili mo, no? Mag-e-end ba yung buhay kapag ka namatay ka o yung physical body mo ay inilibing na? So, o kaya naman yung physical body mo kapag ka namatay na isinunog, mag-e-end na ba yung existence mo kapag nangyari yon? Again, that will depend kung paano niyo sasagutin yung answer, yung question na yan. Okay? So, René Descartes viewed as the dual nature of self where the mind is a thinking thing that makes a man. Kung hindi tayo nag-iisip, no, hindi natin mako-consider na ginagamit natin full potential yung ating pag-iisip. And the body is a mere machine. Kumbaga sa driver, no? Kung walang driver, hindi gagana yung sasakyan o yung manual na sasakyan, no? Kasi importante na merong nag-iisip kung papaano mapunta from point A to point B yung sasakyan na yon. Gaya ng katawan, kung walang utak at walang mind na nag-exist, no, hindi gagana yung katawan natin. Tama? Halimbawa, online class, Monday 8 a.m. Nasa sa inyo kung papasok kayo o hindi. Yung mind ang nag-uutos sa inyo kung papasok ba kayo o hindi. No? Hindi bubuksan ng mga kamay ninyo ang laptop ninyo. Hindi kayo mag-open ng MS Teams. Hindi ninyo dadalhin yung cellphone ninyo kung hindi inisip ng mind ninyo. Yun yung sinasabi ni Rene Descartes, no? That is, no, your mind over body. So cogito in the mind enabling our fundamental existence. The body is just its extension. No, ibig sabihin, kung walang mind, wala ring kwenta yung body, wala ring kwenta yung machine, kumbaga, na sinasakyan ng ating pag-iisip. So cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Napakalalim nitong ano na to, itong sinasabi niya na to, no? I think, therefore I am. So you exist because you are thinking. So from this, Rene Descartes search and prove completely true statement. So he derived to, I am thinking and I exist. Hence, combine the quote, cogito ergo sum. Yan, I think, therefore I am. Dito naman, share your thoughts on these statements. So to doubt that you are thinking is thinking itself, no? Nag-iisip ka. Totoo ba na ako ay nag-iisip, no? So yung thought pa lang na yun na nag-iisip ka kung ikaw ba'y talaga nag-iisip, no? Ibig sabihin no, nag-iisip ka, no? That your mind is working, no? The mind can exist, ano ba to? The mind can exist separately from the self. Yan. God is a perfect being. Okay. So yun yung argument no about the body, the soul, and the mind. Okay. So after nila Socrates, Plato, tsaka ni Saint Augustine, tsaka ni Rene Descartes, punta naman tayo sa mas malalim pa na perspective, which is the consciousness. So John Locke viewed consciousness as the core of the self. Pag sinabi natin conscious tayo, 'di ba? We are aware. Okay? Kaya minsan 'di ba kapag ka nako-conscious ka sa ginagawa mo, nako-conscious ka sa kung anong itsura mo, no? You are aware of yourself, no? Ayaw mo na ikaw ay ma-judge because of your physical characteristics. Ayaw mo na ma-judge ka kapag ka pinag-recite ka halimbawa. That is your awareness, okay? Yung consciousness natin. So it is a personal identity and psychological continuity. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? Kahit na lumipas ang ilang taon, kahit na lumipas ang ilang buwan, ilang araw, no, na nangyari ng isang bagay, alam mo sa sarili mo na nangyari yon. You are aware, you are conscious of that particular situation or event. Halimbawa, para mas mapaliwanag nating maayos. This means that if we have memory versions of ourselves through time, then we can still define ourselves as such. Halimbawa si Melissa. Ano ang kwento ni Melissa? Namatay ang nanay ni Melissa. So when she was 9 years old, bata pa siya noon. Her fondest memory is when her mother sings to the plants while gardening. Her mother taught her the importance of caring for plants. So today, Melissa carries her mother's teachings with her as she works with an environmental organization to educate children about the importance of planting trees. Okay? So dito, sa konteksto na ito, kahit na 9 years old pa lang si Melissa, aware siya, conscious siya sa nangyari way back nung kabataan niya. Yun yung role ng memory. Yun yung role ng pag-iisip niya na naalala niya nung bata siya na inaalagaan ng nanay niya yung mga halaman, kinakantahan niya, no? Kayo, ano ba naalala ninyo nung kayo ay 9 years old? O sige, gamitin ninyo yung chat box ninyo. Ano yung fondest memory ninyo? Ano yung pinaka naaalala ninyo way back 9 years old pa lang kayo? Sige, bigyan ko kayo ng 10 seconds to participate. Hindi ba siya nakaano? Sige, add natin siya. Sige, habang ina-add ko yung ating classmate, mag-ano lang kayo diyan, mag-answer lang kayo. Ano yung memories ninyo nung kayo ay 9 years old? Christian, wala, hindi ko siya makita sa ano, hindi ko siya makita sa Teams. Pakitanong kung naka-ano siya, naka-enroll talaga siya. Wala yung pangalan niya dito. Yan ba yung tamang ano niya, spelling ng pangalan niya? Pakitanong kung naka-enroll na siya kasi hindi makita sa system yung pangalan niya. Ayun pala yung tamang sumagot kayo guys para ayun. Okay, ayan, add ko na siya. Pumapasok lang siya sa ano, sa meeting. Ayan, na-add ko na siya. O, 'di ba? Naalala pa ninyo yung mga nakakahiyang senaryo na nung 9 years old pa lang kayo, natututo pa lang kayo mag-bike noon, 'di ba? Pero ngayon may sarili ka ng kotse o may sarili ka ng motorsiklo, 'di ba? Meron ka pang mga tricks, no? No hands. Oh, look, mom, no hands. So ito yung mga nagpapaalala sa atin o yung nagbibigay sa atin ng idea na ang isip natin existing, no? Totoo na kahit in the past pa itong mga 'to, kahit nawala na si nanay ni Melissa, naalala pa rin niya, no? Na nag-e-exist si nanay niya. Okay? So David Hume naman. So David Hume anchored his definition of the self on the empiricist school of thought. The self is nothing but a bundle of impressions. So there is no self, only a bundle of constantly changing perceptions passing through the theater of the minds. Tayo bilang mga tao, 'di ba? Marami tayong mga nakikilala na mga tao, mga kaibigan, o kaya naman meron tayong mga sitwasyon na na-introduce sa atin. Okay? Yung isang sitwasyon na na-introduce sa akin, gaya halimbawa nag-o-online class tayo, pwedeng pleasant siya sa akin, okay lang siya sa akin. Pero yung ibang mga estudyante na pumapasok, hindi siya okay na mag-online class. Mas gusto nila face-to-face halimbawa. So, ang sinasabi ko dito, ang impression o ang perception natin sa isang bagay dumidepende kung ano yung mga pinagdaanan natin sa past, no? So, yun yung sinasabi ni David Hume na parang magkakaiba tayo ng impresyon sa isang tao. Magkakaiba tayo ng interpretasyon sa kung anong nangyari sa atin. Magkakaiba tayo ng interpretasyon kung ano yung sinabi sa atin. Halimbawa, magkapatid kayo, tapos pinagalitan kayo parehas. No? Pinagalitan kayo dahil meron kayong nagawang hindi maganda. No? Noong kayo ay pinagalitan ng magulang ninyo, anong nangyari? Puwedeng yung iyong reaksyon ay iba sa reaksyon ng kapatid mo at dinala ninyo yon hanggang kayo'y lumaki. Ngayon, malaki na kayo, 'no? Merong tampo yung isang bata dun sa magulang niya, pero yung isa nakalimutan niya na o kaya naman napagbigyan niya na o kaya naman napatawad niya na yung nangyari na yon. So ito yung sinasabi natin na magkakaiba tayo ng interpretasyon sa mga nangyayari sa atin. So yung characterize experience as either impression of ideas or ideas. Impressions are products of our direct experiences while ideas are copies of our impression. So Immanuel Kant naman. Immanuel Kant defined the self as an organizing principle that synthesizes our experience. Yun yung role ng self, no? lahat ng experiences na nararamdaman natin or nagre-register sa atin, yan, ino-organize ng sarili natin para hindi magulo, no? So, pinipili lang minsan ng isip natin kung ano yung dapat niyang i-process so that the mind allows us to distinguish not only things that are present in the world but also those that are not present but are experienced anyway. Kahit na present or past, yan, ino-organize ni self. He calls this as the apparatuses of the mind. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng apparatus, 'di ba? Ito yung tools na ginagamit natin. Halimbawa, kayo ay mag-o-online class. Ano yung mga aparato na ginagamit ninyo? Mga tools na ginagamit ninyo para kayo ay makapag-online class, 'di ba? Cellphone. What else? Uniform. Kasi kailangan pag kayo ay mag-o-online class, kahit na online class ito, kailangan naka-uniform pa rin kayo. Ano pa ba? Alam mo sa sarili mo na before you attend your class, nakapag-prepare ka na, nakakain ka na. Kasi walang magre-register sa isip mo kung gutom ka halimbawa, no? So yun yung tools na ginagamit ng isip natin that way back, no? Nang kayo ay hindi nag-open ng camera. Way back nung hindi kayo nagsuot ng uniform, nakasando lang kayo, tapos binuksan ninyo yung camera ninyo sa online class, napahiya kayo. O kaya naman, pinagsabihan kayo ng teacher ninyo. Kasi, yung tool na ginagamit ninyo is reminding you of the past, di ba? Kasi, yun yung memory na binabanggit kanina na ga-guide sa atin kung ano ang dapat at hindi dapat nating gawin. Okay? So the self is an organizing consciousness according to Immanuel Kant that makes intelligible experience possible. So gaya ni Melissa, kahit na namatay na yung physical body ng nanay niya, yung pag-aalaga na ibinigay sa kanya ng nanay niya, no, sa mga halaman, at naalala niya yon simula nung pagkabata niya hanggang lumaki na siya, is nag-manifest sa values ni Melissa sa pamamagitan ng, 'di ba? Ang trabaho niya is advocate ng environment preservation, okay? Or preservation, okay? So dito makikita ninyo na hindi lang magandang experience yung naramdaman niya sa bonding nilang mag-ina, no? But yung pag-aalaga sa mga bagay gaya ng mga halaman na ito. So Melissa recognizes that her mother is gone, but the memory of her mother's physical existence with her when she was a child continue to have great influence on her up till now when she is all grown up. Kahit na malaki na siya. Yan. O sige, malapit na tayo. Next is Sigmund Freud. So Sigmund Freud is the father of what we call psychoanalysis. Pag sinabi natin psychoanalysis and psychodynamic, it has something to do with the childhood experiences, no? Ina-analyze natin kung ano yung mga behavior, no, way of thinking, way of feeling sa mga experiences way back ng childhood. So Sigmund Freud elaborated on the concept of multi-layered self. Meron daw tayong different levels of what we call consciousness. So yung conscious, pre-conscious, and unconscious. Okay? So yung conscious is in the present, no? Pre-conscious, ready na siyang ilabas pero nagpipigil ka pa. Unconscious, ito yung hindi ka talaga aware at all. So, sige, pag-usapan pa natin yan. Each of these levels corresponds and overlaps with the three levels of awareness. We have the id, ego, and the superego. Pag sinabi nating id, ito yung impulse mo na kapag ka nagugutom ka, kuha mo agad. No? Kinukuha mo kagad. Halimbawa, nasa loob ka ng birthday party, close mo naman yung kaibigan mo. So dahil gutom na gutom ka, anong ginawa mo? Kinuha mo yung pagkain, kinain mo. Hindi pa kumakanta ng happy birthday. Inunahan mo na yung kaibigan mo. Wala, hindi ka pa niya inaaya, no, na kumain, kain na kayo, wala pang ganon. Pero ikaw dahil gutom ka na, kinuha mo. So, yun yung sinasabi natin na id. No? You are basing your action sa impulse na meron ka. O kaya naman ganito, gusto mong makuha yung isang bagay, anong ginawa mo? Hindi ka nagpaalam, basta kinuha mo na lang. Okay? So dito, masasabi natin na id yung pinapakita ninyo. Okay? Ano pa? Halimbawa, yung tatay na walang trabaho, anong ginawa niya? Dahil nagugutom yung pamilya niya o nagugutom yung mga anak niya, nagnakaw siya, no? Hindi niya masyadong tiningnan yung consequence ng action niya. So yung pagnanakaw na yun, id ang umiral doon. Nauunawaan? Yung super ego, yan yung expectation ng society sa atin. So dahil nagnakaw ka, anong expectation ng society sa atin? Huwag kang magnanakaw, masama yun. Makukulong ka, no? Mapaparusahan ka. Mapopost ka sa social media, mapapahiya ka. Yun yung super ego. Yun yung sinasabi nating ideals of the society. Ideals kasi, alam mo na hindi dapat gawin yon. Moral, yun yung morality na meron tayo sa society. So yung id, yung impulse natin at yung morality ng society, nagbabanggaan sila. Okay? So dahil nagbabanggaan sila, yung nasa gitna ang magbabalanse sa kanila. Okay? Yun yung tinatawag natin na ego. Okay? So tatlo yan ha. Yung id, yung impulse, super ego. Ito yung ideals ng society. At yung ego, siya yung nagbabalanse. So dahil nagbabalanse yung ego, bilang tatay, anong dapat mong gawin? Diba? Kapag nagnakaw ako, makukulong ako. So, anong dapat kong gawin? Ako ay magtatrabaho para makuha ko kung ano yung gusto ko na hindi ako makukulong, hindi ako mapaparusahan. Nagets ba ninyo kung ano yung id, ego at super ego? Okay. So ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung conscious, unconscious at yung pre-conscious. Okay. So, hindi ka aware sa sarili mo na nagiging magnanakaw ka na pala o nagiging gano'n na pala yung ugali mo. So way back nung childhood mo, puwedeng yung means ng magulang mo ay gano'n pala, magnakaw o manguha ng hindi kanya o hindi sa'yo, okay? Para ma-sustain yung livelihood ninyo o para ma-sustain yung kabuhayan ninyo, pinagnanakaw ka niya. You are not aware of that, okay? Pero 'pag sinabi naman nating pre-conscious, aware ka sa sarili mo pero nagpipigil ka, aware ka sa sarili mo na pinipili mo lang kung ano yung mga ginagawa mo, pero gano'n pa rin, nagpapadaig ka pa rin sa id. Halimbawa, so kukuha ka ng kukuha pero pinipili mo lang. Conscious ka kapag, 'yan, nasasabi mo na ikaw ay magnanakaw, ikaw ay merong ginagawang hindi, maganda halimbawa ano. So you are conscious of it, 'no. Minsan sa mga taong merong trauma, for example or, psychological trauma, hindi nila alam bakit sila naiiyak. Hindi nila alam kung bakit sila nasasaktan. Hindi nila alam kung bakit laging parang dumarating sa kanila yung mga tao at mga sitwasyon na nagre-reinforce doon sa trauma nila. That is because they are unconscious of their past experiences. They are used to the reinforcement ng trauma na yun. Halimbawa, sexually traumatized itong tao na ito, no? And yung mga nagiging partner niya halimbawa is you know, abusive, verbally abusive, sexually abusive, physically abusive. That is because that this person is not aware dun sa mga napipili niya, no? So ang importansya ng psychotherapy halimbawa sa field ng psychology is for the psychotherapist, induce dun sa tao na yun na gumising ka, ito yung nangyayari sa'yo ngayon, no? So, binabalik sa kanya yung mga ala-ala nung nakaraan para mas maintindihan niya bakit gano'n yung nangyayari sa kanya, no? Kasi yung mga taong may trauma, for example, usually ang tanong nila sarili nila, "Bakit nangyayari sa akin 'to? Anong merong mali sa akin?" No? Kasi they are not aware of it. So, yun yung role nung psychotherapy, no? So dito sa psychoanalysis o sa psychoanalytic perspective, hinahalungkat yung mga past experiences para mas maunawaan mo anong nangyayari sa present mo ngayon. Okay? So before we proceed again, no? Sige, mag-a-add pa ako ng estudyante. Make sure po na nasa registration form ninyo ha, 6108. Okay? Kung hindi po kayo taga 6108, wag po kayong magpa-add ng magpa-add. Check niyo po muna yung registration form ha. Okay, yan, na-add ko na si Aris. Okay, pakisabi sa kanya na pasok lang kamo siya ha. Yun yung sinasabi natin dito na role ng unconscious mind. Okay? So next, punta naman tayo sa next natin na konsepto, the conscious, preconscious, and unconscious. So the conscious mind includes mental activities that we are currently aware of. Alam mo sa sarili mo na dapat 8 o'clock to 9:30 nasa understanding the self ka. Okay? So the preconscious mind includes all mental activities that are not currently active but stored in our memory. Okay? So hindi pa siya in the moment, no? Ibig sabihin, nasa memory mo lang siya, nandito lang siya sa back of the mind mo, pero anytime pwede mo siyang i-retrieve. Halimbawa, pag nag-usap kayo ng kaibigan mo about the project o kaya yung assignment sa mga nakaraang meeting, no? Nasa preconscious mo lang siya. Yung unconscious naman includes mental activities that people are totally unaware regardless of the time. Ayan. Okay, so maliwanag, no, yung id, ego, superego, the conscious, preconscious, and the unconscious. Ito naman si Gilbert Ryle naman. So Gilbert Ryle denied the concept of duality. Wala daw ganon, no, na self, the physical self and the what we call the mental state, no, o yung soul na tinatawag, especially the non-physical self. So the self is just a label we call all behaviors and we make as individuals. So the self is the way people behave. Kung ano yung pinapakita niya na behavior, no, yun na yun. So wala nang tinatawag na soul. So ganun din sinasabi ni Paul Churchland, was a materialist who believed that nothing but matter exists. Okay? Kung ano yung nakikita sa present, no? Kung ano yung nakikita sa body, no? Yung structure ng brain, kung paano ka mag-behave, posible na mayroong problema sa structure ng brain, no? Kaya no, parts of the brain that will likely influence the way you behave. Yun yun. Wala tayong soul, wala tayong mind na tinatawag. So, kung ano yung nag-exist physically, yun lang ang meron tayo. So, nagme-make sense din naman siya, di ba? So, depending again, no, sa kung ano yung orientation natin. So, ang sinasabi lang ng mga philosophers natin, no, ay tawang mga gabay lamang natin to understand paano ba tayo mag-behave, paano tayo mag-isip, no? So, meron nagsasabi na merong kaluluwa, meron nagsasabi na meron tayong mind, meron nagsasabi na hindi, kung ano lang yung physical characteristics na meron tayo, yun lang yung nag-iimpluwensya sa sarili natin. Halimbawa, mataas yung blood pressure mo, diabetic ka pa, no? So, madalas sa madalas, no, ikaw ay masungit o kaya naman ikaw ay lagi nakasimangot, gano'n, palaaway kasi naapektuhan yung katawan mo ng physical health mo. Totoo naman, 'di ba, na kapag problematic ka, no, physically, pati yung mental mo, pati yung behavior mo apektado. Yun yung sinasabi ni Churchland, na walang sinabi dito yung kung ano yung kaluluwa. Walang spirito dito. It's more of the empirical evidence, no, na nagpapatunay kung paano ka mag-behave, no. Tanggalin mo yung utak, sabi ni Churchland. Pag tinanggal ko yung utak mo, edi patay ka. Walang mind na nag-e-exist. Yun yung sinasabi ni Churchland. So he promoted the view of the self based on brain states rather than in mental states. So Maurice Merleau-Ponty labeled the long-running dilemma on the duality of the self as invalid problem. Ang sinasabi ni Merleau-Ponty dito, In the first place, bakit niyo ba pinag-aawayan 'yan, 'no? Wala naman talaga, invalid yung ano na 'yan, yang, ano na 'yan, problema niyo na 'yan. So Merleau-Ponty said that the mind and body are too intertwined. Magkaiba po, 'no, itong konsepto nito, and making them inseparable. Our body's experiences, thoughts, and emotions, all that make us are one and the same self, making it embodied subjectivity. So tayo meron tayong iba't ibang interpretasyon, no, ng self, 'yan. Okay, so supposedly meron tayong ano dito, 'no, activity. Ang sabi dito, each team will be given chance to choose a philosopher with only one unique philosopher per team. And the team will have to create a statement of the team's own definition of the concept of the self and give practical example, scenario, or situation where it is applied. Ayan. Based sa mga napag-usapan natin, sino yung tingin ninyo na nagme-make sense para sa inyo? Yung mga Greek philosophers ba? No? Sila Maurice Merleau-Ponty? No? Sila Churchland ba? Si Sigmund Freud. So let me know dito sa chat box kung sino yung mga na-appreciate ninyo ng mga philosophers na discuss natin. So I would know, no, kung meron ba kayong at least naunawaan sa mga discussion natin. Sino sa mga philosophers na to yung tingin ninyo nagme-make sense para sa inyo? Sige, anyone, please use our chat box to participate in this last session or the last part ng ating discussion. Socrates, Plato, Saint Augustine, René Descartes, sila John Locke ba, Jung, Immanuel Kant, sila Freud ba, Ryle, Churchland, o si Merleau-Ponty? Sige, lagay ninyo dyan para sa last call for attendance and participation. Yeah. Sa mga hindi pa po nagpa-participate, make sure, no, that you comment your answers para mabilang po kayo sa attendance and participation natin. Kung wala, you are considered absent this session. Okay, so I will give you time, no, to mention sino yung mga nagme-make sense na philosophers para sa inyo in understanding oneself. Last call na po ito, ha. So each of us have unique understanding of the self, and various philosophical perspectives became influential in the study of the self. So as we mentioned, no, the philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, no, believed with the body, the soul, no, and the communion of God, according to Saint Augustine, for our soul to be immortal. Descartes, no, the use of our thinking. John Locke on consciousness. Bundle of Impression by David Hume. Immanuel Kant, the self as organizing principle of the experiences. The conscious, preconscious, the unconscious, the id, superego, multi-layered perspective, according to Sigmund Freud. We also have Gilbert Ryle, no, and the self as the way people behave. Churchland, no, seeking, no, the rationalization of the behavior of the person based on the brain structure. Maurice Merleau-Ponty, the body is embodied subjectivity. All right. So these are our references for those individuals who just answered and participate for this morning. You are considered present. For those who hindi po nag-participate, no, habol po kayo, no. So you can be counted para sa participation and sa ating attendance this morning. Okay, so that's it. So before we end our discussion this morning, we will have a short prayer and then we will conclude our discussion. Okay, sige. Noted yung kay Aris for a while. I-add ko lang siya. Okay na si Aris, na-add ko na siya. Okay. So, again, no, thank you for participating for today's meeting. And we will now conclude our discussion. And next week, we'll have another set of discussion, no, if our time allows us to cover all of the topics for the preliminary period. If not, no, please review again, no, the topics related to our prelim period. So you will be guided by the materials that I have provided you, no, if self-paced. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for participating and hopefully to see you next week po. Maraming salamat. This will end our meeting na po.
Goodbye and thank you po.